Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
We don't want to know, okay? So when 9/11 happened, we had people joining the Army, quitting professional football, going off overseas to fight against the Taliban and all this stuff. And no one really understood what was going on, right? These are demonic spirits in the world, and they're operating in the world, and they're doing what they do. They're trying to get control over the whole world and all people, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's go to our booklet so we can begin this long, and you guys pull me back if I get too crazy. Say, pull back, Pastor Sandy. We need to hear from you on Sunday. Hallelujah. Oh my goodness. You see this, Pastor Dan?
Oh, you didn't mention it.
I know. Some unknown person sent this to me with these books, and I have no idea who it is. But if you see it, you let me know.
Is that a shofar?
It is.
All right, here we are. I'm over at the board right now. And let's see. On 3/11, what happened? On 3/11/2004. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. There was a bombing in Madrid, okay? And this bombing happened on March 11th, 2004. It began at 7:37 in the morning, continuing for several minutes. 10 bombs exploded on 4 trains in around Atoka Station in the city center, leaving 191 dead and more than 1,800 injured. Okay, so it happened on that day. This day happens to be exactly 911 days from, we'll say, September 11, 2001. So if you count from this day, from 9/11, and you count exactly 911 days, you have another event, and these are called sacrifices, okay? I was listening to Ronald Bernard today, and he says all of these are called for them sacrifices, because when they set up stuff like this, those dead bodies are sacrifices to Satan for them as they operate within the beast bank and operate within the financial system. So, and it's absolutely accurate. It's like, okay, from September to 11, you go 365 days, and then you go another 365 days, and then you go another 181 days, and then that brings you right to there, and it happens. So someone's counting the days to make sure that when these 2 years pass by, when you get to 2002, 2003, and then you go, okay, 2004 is coming, but it's going to happen in the middle of that, and so it's calculated. You understand? So now you have this bombing that happens, and you go on, and it happens exactly 911 days after 9/11, and then you ask yourself, wait a minute, 9/11, we know it was planned, and now this thing is being planned, and we have to ask ourselves, who's doing this? Because if all these events that are happening in the world are satanic sacrifices, they're doing them all the time. Boston Marathon, it just happens to happen. Guy shooting out of a building in Las Vegas, it just happened to happen. I want to tell you, all of these things are calculated, okay? Now, listen to this here. I put the YouTube on there so that you can watch it when you go home, or if you're at home and you have this, that you can watch it. As George Brooks walks into the classroom, does he know that this thing is going to happen in New York?
Yep.
Of course he does. They have the kids, they have a free book called My Pet Goat, and George Bush is sitting in the classroom, and these are the 5 words that they're telling the kids to say. Kite. Now, I did prison ministry. A kite is a message. Like, hey, man, send me a kite. Let me know what you're going to be doing later, right? So a kite is a message. What's the message? The kids, say this word, plane. Say this word, must. Say this word, hit. Say this word, still. Now you can go and watch it and see it happening, and the guy comes up to him and says, okay, the plane's hit the tower, and he sits there for a while as if nothing happening, right? So that day was already known by him that it was going to happen, okay? Now, how big is our giant? Let's go over to the next page. The $20 bill had stayed the same for quite some time, but 2 years before this event happened, 9/11 happened, they changed the $20 bill, the artwork on the $20 bill. So when you flip the bill, it looked just like the towers on fire. You see that? Mm-hmm. So therefore, whoever designed the money also knew about this day. And so you've got, on many levels, people knowing what's about to happen. And you're going, who's organizing all this? Because this takes organization. Okay? So now, we talked about the number 11 being important. Who knows what HARP is? Okay? HARP, where are my glasses? I put the only one left on YouTube that you can actually watch, and his name is Benjamin Fulford. He was the guy that really let everyone know in 2010 what was going on. Now, it says, what is HARP? High Frequency Active Aurora Research Program. It was a system where they could shoot beams of radiation into the ionosphere. It bounces back into the water, into the ocean, and it heats up the water, and it causes an earthquake, and they can control it. They can control it to the very point where they want to hit the hit. It's not something that's in Hawaii and they just shoot it up and wherever it goes. They can pick exactly where it hits and how much energy they push down into that earth. So they're causing earthquakes, okay? Now, Benjamin Fulford came forth and said, now listen, I want you to know that he had a meeting with Japan and asked Japan, why did you turn over your finances to America and to these Europeans? And he says, because they told us they have an earthquake machine, and if we didn't do what they said, then we were going to have an earthquake that would ruin the whole country. And he said, so they were on TV. So he said, because he said that on TV, someone told him, we're going to do a smaller one just to prove to you that we can do it. And he did. So then now you have this big crazy event, and then they decide they're going to hit Japan. But what day do they decide to hit Japan? 3/11. What is with this 3/11? Huh? 11/11/11 is what? 666. You understand? I'll show it to you. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For them, an 11 is a 6. 3 11s is 666. You understand? So now they're going to start doing everything on 3/11. So now you have this event, In Japan, it says Japan tsunami, severe natural disaster that occurred northwest of Japan on March 11, 2011. You got 11/11. And it says, and killed 20,000 people, at least 20,000 people. That's sacrifices. Okay, 9/11, 2,900 and something sacrifices. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now you have this event. We got to January 11, 2010, and Haiti has a tsunami. Biggest earthquake there in a long time. Devastated the country, killing how many people? 300,000 people ended up dying in that. Okay? Now, someone says the biggest natural disaster and we gotta go and help those people. Who ran over there to help the people?
Hillary.
The Clintons. They're over there because are they there for the people?
Nope.
What were they there for?
Kids.
The children. Because remember what Ronald Bernard says, they're sacrificing kids all the time. You understand? So they're over there for trying to gather up children. And she's got another lady with her, and they're trying to get 33 kids out of the country who they say were orphans, and all of the kids had parents when they got caught and put them in jail. And all of them can say where their parents lived and who their parents were. And it's like, they're trying to take these kids out. So they're over in Haiti, all of these people, but when does it happen? 1/11. Why 11? That's their number, okay? The other thing you have to realize too is this. What did we notice January 1st, 2011? Thousands of birds falling out of the air, dead on the ground. You know where that comes from? HAARP. Shooting up in the ionosphere, that radiation killing them. And then now you got all these birds that were just laying on the ground in the morning in January 1st, right? Yep. Of 2010. This has never happened. News people out there, we don't know it happened. This has never happened. Well, they never used HAARP before, but now they're using HAARP, and you're seeing. What about when you see, also it says here, the radiation is a direct into the sea, will burn and kill sea life. Have you ever seen one of these times that they said all of these dolphins are laying on they're using HAARP in that area, okay? So all of these things are going on because this is what they're doing in the earth realm, okay? And you guys don't understand that this is on a big level, okay? They not only control all the banks. I'm listening to Robert Bernard today. He said, you know, you got the Federal Reserve, billions of dollars. You have Lloyd's of London, billions of dollars. You got the Vatican Bank, richer than both of the previous. And he says, but they're all small compared to Beast Bank, which is Bank of International Settlements. So that is running everything. He says out of there is, he says, we're not talking human, we're talking entities. And now I perk up because now I'm understanding what he knows that I know, that there are Nephilim in our system, and they are doing things, and they are trying to control human beings, and they don't care whether they kill 10 or they kill 300,000. What just happened in Boulder on the 22nd? 22, 11/11.
Was that 22 people?
Huh?
22?
No,
oh,
22
the date.
On the day, 3/22. That's 11/11 on the 3. What is that? So somebody in Boulder just happens to shoot 10 people, a gunman, and he shoots 10 people on this date. But every time a 22 or 11 comes around, I start praying because I know these are the days that they do things, okay? This is in the world right now. Let's talk about the Georgia Guidestones. They call Lucifer's 10 Commandments for the New World Order. First commandment, maintain humanity under 500 million, not billion, 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So that means That means
A lot of people.
6.5 billion people gotta die. Depopulation is their thing. Does not Bill Gates give a full speech about the importance of depopulating the earth? Who is he, God? No, he's a Nephilim. How come nobody's been able to arrest this guy or do anything with these people? If they're controlling everything, nothing's going to happen to them. They had the videotape of the children and everything in New York, and the police wanted to say something and couldn't. Only one police lady tried to say something and she was killed.
Yeah.
And they all saw the same video of the same treatment of children, sacrificing of children, and nobody could do anything. See, this is what we do. We forget about what has happened. Okay? Some of us forget about 9/11. I never forget about 9/11 because I realized someone set that up, someone planned that, and someone, whoever did not care about the 2,996 people that died. Nobody cared. Someone didn't even care about that. So, maintain humanity under 500 million means our plan is to kill off, 6.5 billion people, okay? So, guide production wisely. This is his second rule. Guide production wisely, improving fitness and diversity. So first he says, let's kill 6.6 billion of them, but let's make sure that we guide reproduction, improving their fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a new living language. So what did they do in Babylon? Everyone spoke one language. They want to get back to that, right? Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts after we kill 6 billion of them. You see how foolish the rest of it sounds?
Yeah.
The rest of it is foolish. Once you start with let's kill 6 billion of them, the rest of the rules don't matter. You understand? Because what you're saying is 6 billion of us don't even matter because that's not what you want in the earth, okay? So I'm just saying the Georgia Guidestones are there. Depopulation is a satanic plan. Go to the next page. Okay, here we are. You're on the next page? I hope everybody at home got this. Okay. Event 201. What was Event 201? It was a simulated or acting out of what the world would look like if the coronavirus was active in the world, okay? So in their simulation of what would happen, and their simulation, they calculated how many people would die once it was implemented, okay? So once they implemented it, now it became global throughout the whole world. Now, what is the anniversary date of 2020 that they announced that this is going to be a global pandemic? What date did they announce it? March 11th, 2020. You see that? Okay, so March 11, 2020, they announced this is a global pandemic. Why do they keep going back to March 11? 3 6s. 11, 11, 11 is really just 666. Or confusion, confusion, confusion. But they're playing games with numbers, okay? Now, I want to say this before we continue on. A pandemic in the world, is this the first time a flu pandemic has hit the world? No, it happened again, it happened before March 11th, 1918. So that means, look, 100 years passed, But the demonic spirits that's controlling it haven't. They're still using the same numerical value system. How can a